Hey everybody, it's Professor Evans. We are entering into week 7 or unit 7 of English 130. Means we only have about a week and 5 days left to go over the course. And our topic this week is going to be point of view, or in other words, who is telling us the story that we are hearing. And who is telling us the story matters. I'm sure we all have someone in our lives that whenever we hear a story from them, there's no doubt in our minds that they're telling us the truth. And then there are other people in our lives that whenever they tell us the story, we're always skeptical of the details. Okay. So we don't just believe every story that we're told. We usually ask questions. We try to figure out who's telling us the story. And based off of that, we decide whether the story is truthful or credible or not. The same goes for the stories that we read. I'm sure we've all seen these painting optical illusions before, right? Where sort of depending on how you look at it, you're going to see something different. And then, of course, I don't know if anyone remembers this, but I certainly do. There was this huge debate about maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, about whether the dress that we are all looking at right now is gold and white or black and blue. And this had the internet community pretty divided. So we're all looking at the same dress, but based on our perspective, based on our point of view, we are all sort of seeing different things. And we adamantly believe we are seeing those things. So that's really how strong point of view or perspective is. So in a story, in literature, we really choose between two different points of view. These are the two most popular. We either hear our story from first person point of view, where we have a character who we are in that character's mind and they are telling us the story, and everything we see in that story is through their mind. Our other option is we have third person point of view. And third person point of view is usually some sort of an outside spectator or an outside narrator who's telling us the events of the story. But what we have to keep in mind is that it's not just first person or third person. There's more to it than that. When we hear a story, we have to always be um, a little bit skeptical. And by that I mean we don't have to doubt the entire story, but we always have to be aware that what we are hearing is just one perspective. And just like the picture of the dress or any of the paintings that I just showed you, there are multiple interpretations and there may be some information that's being left out, depending on who's telling us the story. A couple things that we want to keep in mind. Our narrator can be incorrect. So maybe they're biased, maybe they're misinformed, maybe they don't know a lot, okay, about whatever topic they're talking about. They can also be lying. So they may have an agenda. They may want you to side with them. They may want you to dislike the other person. They may want you to strongly believe what they believe, right? So they may be biased there as well. And the other thing to keep in mind is they may be limited, meaning they only have a certain amount of knowledge. Or there's things that they find important that they are going to focus on. And I have this picture here of being a dog to stress the fact that if you were to tell a story of your day through your eyes, the things you would focus on would be drastically different than if a dog, if you or a cat or whatever pet you have, told the story of their day. They would focus on different things. Different things would be important to them. So we have to keep that in mind when we're hearing our stories, whether it be in real life or the fictional stories that we read in this class. So here's an overview of the week. First thing you're going to do is you're going to complete all the readings, and we've got a video for you to watch as well. While you're watching these videos or reading the text, you should always be thinking about who is telling me the story. You're going to reflect on the way you see the world in the discussion board by answering one of the questions. So these are very personal questions asking you to reflect inward on yourself, which is always an important thing to do. And then you're going to complete the point of view literary response, which I'll talk more about on Wednesday. When reading, there are a few questions that I'd like you to focus on and ask yourself while you're reading. First, and of course most importantly, who is telling me the story? Next, what things does this person or narrator focus on? What things don't they focus on? Do you think they are biased? Why? And what information would we gain if this story were told from another perspective? So that's it for this week. I'll check in with you all on Wednesday. Bye.